I have Max with me because me and Max go way back. A long, long history. A good history. And then Max, it's all good. So I want to bring Max on because when I knew Max as a youngster, Max was just one of those wild childs. He was always up to something, always doing something, always breaking rules, always against the status quo, always doing things his way. So when I heard he was in Australia and doing real estate sales, I just had to get in touch with him because that's what I do in America. That's kind of my day job, Max, is real estate. I do luxury. I've got some commercial, of course, which I'm trying to delve in, but that's a whole nother kind of realm of sales. But Max, tell us about yourself. You're in Australia. What's your profession? And
So I've been living in Australia now for 23 years. And the last 5 years, we've opened up a real estate company that does commercial or off-market transactions. Not really houses or apartments, but more so putting together the buyer and the seller in commercial assets. Could be a building for 100 units. We do the back work for the actual site, and then we on-sell it to developers, which would then go build the apartments. And then my business partner from our second company called Lincorp, they would then do the off the plan sales for those apartments. So I've been running a real estate company, which that's for around 5 years now. That's right. And
congratulations, fantastic, that's brilliant. I commend that, Max.
Quite well up until this virus has hit. The commercial industry in Australia is booming, absolutely booming. I can't really show you from here, but if you look outside, there's cranes everywhere. There's a lot of buildings going up. There's a lot of development. It's been quite good for us at the moment. So that's the bread and butter of the business. And then since then, just before the virus, we decided with a new business partner to open up a resources sector. My other partner has transacted in resources before in oil trades.
Well, what is that resources? What is that, Max?
That's gold bullion, oil. Could be. He actually had a contract for chicken feet to go to Hong Kong from Mexico.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was all signed up, and then the virus hit, and unfortunately lost that contract.
Okay,
but it's any kind of commodity. So that's the second part of the business, which is new. And but yes, day to day bread and butter is real estate.
Right, exactly. So you're into a few avenues of swing revenue. You're into dirt, because dirt is an economy. Sand, I'm afraid, is an economy. And then you're into the other resources where it's all the different kind of elements of the world, and even chickens, because I know that my uncle and his partners own a chicken farm in South Africa, and that's their most lucrative business. So they make more money from the chicken farm than any of their other business, and they own several businesses. So it's interesting that that's part of your business model.
It's amazing, but any resource that, especially food, it could be soy, sugar, salt. We get asked all the time, and we've just gone to our network and we've just asked a few questions, and it just seemed to work. Within real estate, there's a lot of people that have access to different groups with a lot of money. There's always someone that we know that's always got access to something, whether it's going to be real estate for overseas, or if it's going to be oil, gold, sugar, it could be anything. It's actually been a lucrative, will potentially be a lucrative side of the business in the future.
Absolutely.
But yeah, commodities, food. The whole world needs food.
Absolutely. Well, so the three business models to get into, to focus on is, number one is food. Everybody has to eat. Well, right now we're in a pandemic, but that really happens once, say, every 10 years. But it's really food. Second is clothing, because you have to eat before you can buy a home. Second is clothing, and then third is a roof. So those are kind of that's the business model. So you're at the top of the tier, my friend. And then you also got number three, which is real estate. Well, actually, resources. Do you have any fashion lines, any clothing lines that you're?
No, nothing. Nothing. No, nothing. No, that's. I think if I told my girlfriend or my family that I was going to be doing a clothing line now and stepping away from property, I'm probably getting in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Max, let's go to real estate, because that's kind of what I know. And this vlog is really about real estate. And briefly explain to the audience. And by the way, do me a favor, if you have any questions, we're live right now, so you can just type in the box and ask Max a question. And Max, I'll just refer them back to you. Really, if you can just do me a favor and briefly explain to me like a quick pipeline process of how your day-to-day activities or your business looks like, Max.
Okay, so day-to-day. All right, so we, obviously real estate company, what we would do is day-to-day is source out sites.
Land?
Land, so land.
Okay, yeah.
So land, whether, I'm not sure of the same terminology in America, with DA approved with the development consent.
Right.
Either raw or with approvals. And our job is to find off-market transactions. We don't deal in the space where we advertise. Our company does not advertise at all. We just do everything nice and quietly under the radar. But basically, sourcing sites is obviously quite difficult, and that is where the money is in real estate. If you're the only one,
that's like a pocket listing. That's like secret inventory.
If you got the exclusive on a site that nobody else has got, and you can work the vendor and the buyer to the whole, it all comes together like a marriage, as you would know. We need to get the both parties together. That's the hard part. So day to day is backwards and forwards, confirming the approvals, working out what subject to would be, what the contracts would look like. Each day is exciting. Each day is new. There's always something new to look at. You spend a lot of time going through projects that don't actually work out in the end, whether it's, as you know, the vendor is too greedy or the buyer doesn't want to come to the table. So day to day, it's on the phone, hustling, getting things done.
Right.
Just the day to day. It's just, and we've got a beautiful office. I'm looking at the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Beautiful network. We've got amazing staff that work with us. In 5 years, we've built up a beautiful, it's medium-sized real estate agency. But that's the day to day.
So how many? You've been here for 5 years now, Max. How many? Is it a big staff? Do you do a lot of recruiting for, or is it just really two commercial guys with their staff, or do you have agents that you recruit as well?
Okay, so we've got Orion Global, which is the off-market transaction for the company, and in that there's only 5 of us.
Okay.
Then we've got Lincorp, which is my business partner's company, which does off-the-plan sales. And now that there's probably about 30 staff just in that company, and they all work underneath that brand. So we've kept the brand separate, one for off-market and one for off-the-plan sales, which is obviously more or less what you'd be doing in America, finding houses or selling apartments, whether they are small apartments up to $1 million, anything up to $10, $15 million apartments. That's what the other part of the company does.
So Max, so you do no development. Yours is just purely finding the dirt because that's your commodity, and then from there you'll take that almost in a sense. Do you do any licensing or entitlement to get that property ready to take to market, or do you go straight to your investors and they do all the pre-development and the development process thereafter?
No, we generally package up the deal as much as we can.
Okay.
And then generally the purchaser will have a team on board that will then take it to the development consent stage. But what we do is we package up everything. We show what can possibly be done on the site. We give a few different ideas. Mm-hmm. We work with architects. We've got an in-house team that puts the deal together for us, so that it's by the time we give it to the purchaser, they kind of know what they can and can't do with the site. As you know, if you've got a deal, you need to sell that deal to the purchaser on one page. You kind of need to let them know what the dream is, what they can possibly do, what the outcome is, what they will possibly make on the site, subject to market conditions. But yeah, that's kind of where it stands.
No, that's fantastic. So I've just started getting into commercial now, Max, and I had to put together, when I got my commercial deals last year, I got a Hollywood film studio listed, which is rare. You don't get that, and I got that last year. That happens once. They don't sell studios in Hollywood because it takes millions of dollars to get a film permit, about 10 million give or take dollars, and several years, and then maybe you still get denied that permit. It's called a film. It's like a film permit.
Yep.
So you're competing with companies like Disney, Universal Studios, Paramount, Warner Brothers, DreamWorks. It's a big market. It's also a tough market because it costs big money. It's also right now what a lot of the companies are doing is they're trying to get rid of brick and mortar in a sense. They're trying to go, look at Universal. They're now releasing their movies straight to Netflix and Apple TV and so forth.
Yep.
Instead of using big movie theaters. That's creating a big rift within that community. And then I have a 28-acre property over here in Los Angeles, and then another 9-acre property with 9 homes we're building on there. The 28 acres is a 100-room hotel, 154 assisted living facility, and then a 73-unit condominium complex for 55 and plus. In saying that, I had to build a offer memorandum. Sometimes that can be up to 60 pages, where you're showing the client the benefits and the purpose of that piece of land, that dirt.
Yep.
And it's very expensive. I mean, 28 acres here in Los Angeles, $30 million just for the land. So you look at $1 million bucks an acre. Again, because there's, people are growing what land isn't. So it's a very big business. Now, I don't know what Australia is like. I just know that because I'm in Los Angeles, I'm in Los Angeles, unless we buy a piece of property, you break it down to the studs or completely demolish it and get it down to the dirt, then you have an opportunity. So for you, you're going straight for the dirt, and then you take it to market, and then you find an investor to do the
so we don't take it to market. We go to our private clients. So
okay.
Nothing's ever taken to market ever, except for the off-the-plan sales. Of course, then that would be marketed. But for the large commercial assets that we do have, the quieter the business is, the more chance you got. Because it's always going to be someone else that's going to come and try steal that person away from you and offer them more money, bigger bucks. So
it's very brutal. And also you say it eloquently. We call it pocket listings or secret inventory. Because let me tell you what, Max. Honestly, you think you can trust a person? You can. You tell one person your story and it's taken away. Now, in the commercial world here in Southern California, which I can speak for, but please don't quote me on everything. I just know that it is competitive, but it's also very secretive. So, like you said, the commercial guys are showing the commercial deals, but it's not a very broadcast item or listing.
No. Well, in Australia, you'll have some of the big agents, the CBREs and those kind of guys.
Mm-hmm.
That will go to market straight away, and they've got a data. They must have 5, maybe 10,000 clients, who could be anything like that, but all around the world. So they go around the world. For us, it's more so we will have 5 or 6 different funds. We'll know exactly what they're looking for, what kind of buildings, what yields they want, exactly what they're looking for, and we will go find that. And then if the site I have works for one of those groups. We generally have 2 groups on it at the same time, and we allow both groups to know that there is someone else. Because if something falls over, you kind of don't want to start again. But a little bit of
offer, and also maybe
we'll have a competitive offer as well. And excuse me, if they know that there's someone else that's in the background, then so be it. But then obviously there are other ways that we do it as well. We get the client to sign up and put some money down, and we'll do an exclusive for a certain amount of time, and so that's been working quite well for us at the moment. We're working with some of the big boys in town, and they know that when we come to them, it's going to be off market. It's not been shopped around at all, and they know that we can be trusted with their information. Information is extremely sensitive in Sydney. If it gets in the wrong hands, it ends up in every single agent's inbox. And that's not the way our company works. We just nice and quiet, under the radar, as I said.
Nice. So how many people in your company? There's you, there's your partner. How many
So we've got 5 partners for the Orion Global off market, because we just run that nice and quietly. And then for Lincorp, as I said, off the plan sales, there's a team of around about 30. That's run by my partner, Kenjamin Lin. And he does do developing as well. But on the Orion Global side, it's no developing as of yet. But potentially in the future. But 30 people in the other company, staff that are doing similar to you, as I said, just selling off the plan, which is in Australia at the moment, it's just about dead at the moment because of the COVID.
Yeah.
You've only been able to show one person through at a time. So if a husband and wife goes through, you have to leave the wife outside, the husband outside, and show one through at a time. You need to be wearing masks. So it's been very difficult to actually on that side of the business. Hopefully things are starting to change. We believe in Sydney this Friday there's going to be. Oh, sorry, today there's been new changes. This morning, before we could only be in groups of 2. And now today, if you've got friends, you can have 2 friends over at your house now. So that's going to make it a little bit easier on the real estate because it means you can bring more than one person through. But yeah, that's kind of where that is at the moment for staffing and that side of the business.
Excellent. So Max, over the past 5 years, when you started this company, which I commend you by the way, because I've started my own brokerage company and it kicked my butt. I lost a lot of money. It hurt. It hurt me financially. It hurt me mentally. It hurt me relationship-wise because I had some very important people in my life involved. It was very sad, and now that I look back, I can see why it didn't work, which is sad. But at the time, it was really, it was like, the Wild West. It was just fantastic. So over the 5 years, what are your, like for 2019, what was your closed sales volume like?
Oh, see, because we're only doing off market. Last year we did 4 deals, but there were 4 large deals. So it's not about volume for us, because whereas compared to my partner Kenjamin for Lincorp, it's obviously volume is the amount of apartments you can sell to generate for the business, which they did extremely well last year. We moved from they were sticking with my company, did 4 rather large deals last year, and that's more than enough to keep us going. This year we're on target to do, I think we'll do around about 8. Hopefully, with everything in the pipeline for this year.
Fantastic, yeah.
But it's all subject to what happens for this virus. In Sydney, all development is still happening, as in building, but everything's been put on hold with all the buyers and vendors because nobody knows quite when this is going to end.
Right, so the economy is too uncertain right now, so people are just kind of holding back, especially investors, which I think for them is smart because maybe they get a better deal, Max.
That is correct. For us, I think what we've found is it's got rid of a lot of serious people that want to sell, of companies just to talk, and serious buyers, instead of having people that just wait to see and then they'll get a price and then they'll say, oh, you know what, we'll just wait. We're still having great discussions, but business has obviously slowed down for everybody. I've come into the office today to obviously speak to you, but generally we've been working from home, following all the rules. But it has been. It is going to be a challenging time for the company and for all companies in Australia. The property sector is. I'd say there will be a lot of great deals, not good deals, great deals coming. A lot of people won't be able to hold as long.
Okay.
And there'll be opportunity for our company to find those sites and bring in the buyers that have been waiting in the background, that are cashed up and ready to go. So I believe. If Australia, which is getting through this, getting through the pandemic quite well, I think we'll be able to. I think we'll do quite well in a few months.
So Max, let's do this, Max. I'm going to go to the internet quickly. Tell us, while the viewers are watching this, tell us where. I have that. Cancel. Give me your website, Max.
So it's orionglobal.com.au, so ORION global.com.au.
Okay, excellent. There it is. Oh, that's stunning. Oh, that's gorgeous. Beautiful. They're given Orion Global strong relationship in the off-market property. Oh, I love it at Commodities. Look at you, Max. Oh, this is stunning. What is this city here, Max? What is this our services?
Oh, that'll just be that's this picture of Sydney somewhere.
Beautiful.
Yeah. We're based, right in the heart of the city. That's where we are, right in the heart of the city.
Look at that. So, Max, what I'm going to do is, I want to see exactly where you are. I want to show our audience exactly where you are. Oh, look at that. So look at this. This real estate must just be powerful.
I'm looking at the Harbour Bridge, at the water. We have some of the best views for our office in Sydney. Unobstructed, absolutely amazing views. But based right in the middle of the city, right in the harbour. We see the ships. We see everything happening. We can see what buildings are going up, who's selling, who's doing what.
Prime location.
But yeah, beautiful.
And then look at that. The Gold Coast is just up north from you. Byron. Oh, look at Byron.
Yeah.
Man, this is prime real estate right here. You got the Central Coast. Now I know I've got a worldly wisdom, so I've kind of my brother-in-law lives north of Brisbane, an hour away. So
yeah.
I mean, you're about Byron Bay. I know I know some family members who got real estate in Byron Bay, which apparently is one of the most incredibly stunning places in the world.
Booming. That's absolutely booms there. That's people that are retired that have got a lot of money. They live in Byron Bay. But it's absolutely gorgeous there. I'd say if you do come visit me with your beautiful wife, we would probably take a trip up to Byron Bay. And
I've got such a good reason now, because if my wife, I want to do that for my wife anyway, of course, because it's her brother. And he's such a cool guy. And he's in construction, so I know he does some big commercial deals there, working with, HVAC, big heating, air conditioning systems and so forth. But he's big in construction. I know he's also worked in some luxury homes over there and so forth. And that's awesome. That is just amazing. I'm going to stop sharing. So guys, this is Legends, the Hero's Journey. This is one of our legends we just interviewed, Max Stricke. I love that, Stricke. It's like Max strikes you. Max, if you could give me your details, I'll put them in the description box below.
Yep.
The reason I'm sharing Max's information with you is because I want you to reach out to Max. If you're an investor, if you want to buy or sell any real estate, especially in Sydney, I would go to Max. I've known Max my whole life since a child.
Since 7 years old.
7 years old, Max.
8 years old.
I don't want to say I beat the street with you, but we had some amazing times together. We can keep this to ourselves.
Yeah.
So sometimes the past is the past, but anyway, it's all good. And also Max. So let's just say, for instance, I'm relocating to Sydney, to Australia, or maybe even to the Gold Coast, or let's say Brisbane. Do you have access to real estate agents that I can look to, maybe buy a villa or something like that?
We've got access to all the big five. If you've got someone that's looking to buy something, we can access that site specifically for them, and we will do it in an off-market way. It could be at a house if need be, because my partner can do that, or units. But yes, we have access to all agents. We know exactly what's going on from Sydney to Melbourne to the Gold Coast. It would not be hard. If there are people out there that would like to invest in Australia, Australia's obviously a great investment. We can set up an investment property portfolio for them as well. There's lots of different things we can do. If they'd like to see it, just go to the website, orionglobal.com.au, and my details on there, or any of the partners would be on there under our team, and we can assist in any way for any site.
Nice, Max. So do me a favor, Max, just before we leave this broadcast, give me one takeaway that from owning your own business, Max, and being in the trenches every single day. It's a battlefield. What's the one thing that you can give to inspiring entrepreneurs?
Well, I think you just need to never give up. I mean, if you want to be an entrepreneur, at the end of the day, you need to hustle. You need to be able to hustle and do it yourself. You can't rely on other people. You need to just put the hard yards in, and it's extremely difficult. It's been hard for everybody. But once you taste the success and you've actually completed and you've actually done it yourself, it'll be a lot sweeter at the end. I
love that. Hard yards. I've never heard that before. If that's one thing I can take away from this interview, hard yards. Wow, Max. Is that an Australian term or?
Well, I'd say it's Australian. I've used it all my life. If you remember my big father, Big Al.
Oh, your dad was a giant of a man. He scared the hell out of me, that man. I don't know, Max. When we were kids, that man was just, he didn't have to say anything. Just his presence was frightening.
We remember. But yeah, hard yards, that you have to put them in, and that's, there was a saying as well.
Hey guys, subscribe to this channel. This is Max Stricke. This is Kevin the Toit. This is the show Legends, A Hero's Journey. You just saw one. His name is Max Stricke. I commend him. He's actually somebody that I know very well, and I'm a big fan of. And that's why he's part of this podcast and this vlogs. And this goes viral, by the way, Max. I'll share it everywhere. Hey guys, thank you. I will put Max's details in the description box below. Hit the subscribe button, crush the bell, and do me a favor, click the like button. It helps the analytics. Max, thank you for your time. You're a bloody legend, my friend. I can't wait to see you one day. I know it will be soon. You've given me a good reason, and there's many more to come visit. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Cheers.